Hi, I'm Brenda Ellis, author of Artistic Pursuits, an art curriculum for preschool through high school. I'm glad you joined me today. You know, a lot of people think that they can't draw because they don't have talent. The more time you spend drawing, the better you get at it. And that's true for anyone. So what happens is children who love seeing and love drawing, they spend a lot of hours doing it. And so they develop a lot of skill. And those are the people that we tend to say that they have talent. But in fact, any of us can develop these skills. Now, our brains work from repetition. They learn by repeating things over and over again. In fact, our brain will take over a task so that we don't have to think about it anymore. Now think about driving to a grocery store. If you have just moved to an area and you don't know where that grocery store is, you will be aware of all the sights and all the sounds through that whole trip. And then after the 20th time that you've driven to that grocery store, you might find that you've been thinking about the soccer game through the whole trip and you don't even know how you got to the grocery store. You weren't thinking about how to get there at all. Your brain wasn't occupied for a moment on thinking about how to get there. Now, how does this apply to art? Well, I have taken you in the last videos through short trips on how to get started in your drawings. You've started with line, you've looked at the outside edge. Your brain has gotten very efficient on knowing how to begin. So I want to encourage you, this is not about talent. This isn't something that you don't have the ability to do. It is all about practice, and as you practice seeing, you're going to get better and better. So let's make some art. Today, I want to practice drawing from observation using a grid. Choose a small object that sits on a desk or a nightstand. I've chosen a pair of glasses. Place your object onto the grid. Do you remember how we used the edge of our paper to measure the distance of the object to those edges? This made our drawings more accurate and helped us to draw lines to the same size as the object itself. With a grid, we can see the distance between a part of the object and our grid line. We will use the lines of this grid as a way of measuring. Let's start with an easy grid. We make a line to split the width in half. We make a line to split the length in half. Length is the long side and width is the shorter side. Here I'm going to tell you what I'm looking at so you understand the process of drawing. I see that the edge of the glasses starts on the grid line. I look at the end destination of my line as well. I think about where my line will start and where it will end. Now I find the height of the other side when starting at the grid line. You've probably noticed that I do not actually measure with a ruler. I quickly put the tip of the pencil on the edge and my thumb on the other end to mark a distance. I also measure the distance from the edge of my paper, and I adjust my mark. I look at the shape of the glasses as they curve around the center where my grid marks converge. Remember to use your wrist to make smooth curves as I do for the top of these glasses. Look at where the edges of the glasses meet the grid line. Try using a simple grid today. Make 2 lines to divide your paper into 4 rectangles. Remember to make the paper small so that you have only an inch or 2 around the edges of your object. If the paper is too big, it will be difficult to use the edges to make measurements. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed learning to draw from observation. Be sure to sign up on our email list so that you can receive notifications of each new lesson. And I'll see you next week.